You know, I'll flatten that anyway when I get in the ring with him anyway. But all I want to say to Carl, I'm not getting into it with him. I just think he's had plenty to say, but he's messing with a game old boy. Get me £2.5 million contract, I'll sign on the dotted line, and let's get it on. We don't need a long time away, because that 61 ain't got that long. But let me tell you something, with me.
Fits guys do, they have a go. They're not real boxers per se. Maybe that's why they're doing, or that is why they are in the Misfits umbrella. They're fighting under that umbrella. There's a market for it. People love to see it for whatever the reason. You know, I'm sure the one I want to see.
But this don't happen. They just ban you from going to the show. Carl sport aren't allowed to go to boxing anymore. For me, that's ludicrous.
Listen, question. Where do you think that Tyson Fury sits in this current modern era? His CV, where does it sit in this current modern era when you're talking about resumes?
John Fury accepts Carl Froch's fight offer following the lawsuit, but this seasoned brawler is now stepping into business mode, making sure his demands are met before agreeing to shake hands. At 61, John Fury is not looking for sympathy or attention. He wants to build his legacy, and Carl Froch's lawsuit has unexpectedly given him greater leverage right now.
Fight. I'm going to fight, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what I do. And what I want to do, really, is make history. I'll be the first 61-year-old man in history to ever take on a 3-time Hall of Famer in Carl Froch. I can't wait. I can't wait.
In John Fury's mind, no ring is necessary. He is openly promising a brutal confrontation, whether or not a contract is officially signed. Fury understands exactly what Carl Froch's punches could do to him. Instead of stepping away from the danger, he is challenging it directly, inviting the threat to move closer and face him without hesitation.
When I see him, we're going to fight, because I'll draw off and smash all his teeth out. I will.
This is what we're living with.
This is what we're living with. It's gone too far.
Yeah.
It's gone too far. Because he said to me, I'm going to come there Saturday night and batter you. I'll be waiting for you, I said, Mr. Froch. Leave it till Tommy's fight's out the way. And I was looking around. The minute Tommy's fight was announced, I was looking around for him. I thought, okay, let's have it on. Because I've been in that many fights in my life. I've been punched in the head 1,000 times in my life.
You don't want to get nicked. It's not,
Well,
it's not the right example we set.
It's not the right example, but what, you can't look like a pussy, can you? Because that's not what I am. No. Listen, Carl will land the big cobra right on me to knock me cold out. But I'll tell you what, you won't have to look for me to do it. You know, if I get tucked down, hands up, and getting close, keep chopping away, I'm a big dude.
Carl Froch is presenting himself as the reluctant hero, claiming he never wanted this confrontation. But denying the situation while appearing classy does not change the fact that he continues discussing it. If this entire matter is genuinely beneath him, then why does Carl Froch keep responding whenever the question comes up? His actions seem to contradict his words.
And I don't blame Tommy Fury one bit for making money. But by that same token, you got to question his ambitions on being, or calling himself, a legitimate boxer. I mean, he still ain't fought anybody of any real note, and maybe that's because he's limited. But, you know, like I say, I don't really.
Carl Froch refuses to accept any of it, calmly responding that John Fury's prison threats were genuinely offensive rather than simple heated banter. The Cobra points out that he has the credentials and support John Fury lacks. While Fury continues making demands, Froch remains firm, refusing to allow an apology to erase the seriousness of what was actually said publicly.
Nonsense, and he'd like to play the Cobra down, but he can't because I've got the backing, I've got the credentials. You know what I'm saying? He can't rubbish the Cobra and say that I don't deserve to be where I'm at.
Even the pundits can hardly keep straight faces, mocking John Fury's strange way of boasting about fatherhood instead of simply showing baby photos like everyone else. This is also the same man now delivering emotional apologies to Carl Froch, shifting from extreme bravado one week to desperate pleading the next. At this stage, John Fury's credibility has become almost a joke.
I make them rich because I don't like them. People you don't like, you're never going to put money in their pockets. So the fights will never take place. But one thing I can say, both men, Carl Froch, Joe Egan, you know where I live. I'll always come out with my shirt off, you know, because that's what kind of a guy I am. I'm bred to it. It's a generation and culture I'm from. We fight. But that's by and by. The main reason this morning.
Another apology from John Fury shows him seemingly losing confidence after all his aggressive talk. He admits everything became chaotic, conveniently overlooking the fact that he helped create much of that chaos himself. A sincere apology can appear noble, but coming from Fury, it feels like a man realizing too late that his words damaged his reputation.
The fights will never take place, but one thing I can say, both men, Carl Froch, Joe Egan, you know where I live. I'll always come out with my shirt off, because that's what kind of a guy I am. I'm bred to it.
Johnny Nelson is not giving John Fury any sympathy either, joking that his repeated outbursts could bring hefty fines. Nelson calls it an expensive mistake, and it is difficult to disagree when Fury keeps making matters worse for himself. His tough guy reputation now comes with an expensive apology tour, leaving John Fury struggling to catch a break anywhere.
And if he does it again and he's over, he's going to get fined again. And I don't know if it's by the pound, by the ounce, what he's getting fined for, but it's an expensive miscalculation.
Robert Smith clearly confirms that John Fury physically struck someone, leaving little room for excuses or alternative explanations. The incident was serious enough for the board to address it through formal proceedings. This is no longer simply about heated words or threats. With Fury now asking Carl Froch for forgiveness, his apology seems less sincere and more like damage control.
It was quite threatening, actually, and quite, if I was a bit of a snowflake, then I'd have been upset, I'd have been offended by it, because it was threatening, he was calling it on, and he was saying basically, watch your back, and you don't want to go back to prison. So he needs to be careful, doesn't he? I mean, he's talking about going back to prison.
Eddie Hearn openly mocks the situation, warning that Carl Froch is not the kind of person you can threaten and then simply walk away from. He even describes himself as wet lettuce compared with Froch. Hearn believes John Fury made a serious mistake by provoking the wrong man. If they eventually meet, he expects Froch to settle everything, apology included.
The reason that I like that little bit of beef, right? One is because I'm not involved. And two, because Carl's not the kind of geezer who you can start saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And if I see you, because you can say that to me, I'm a wet lettuce. You can't say that to Carl Froch.
An emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk.
Duke McKenzie sums up John Fury's behavior as a calculated performance filled with shouting, threats, and chaos, all played before an audience that seems entertained regardless of consequences. But when Fury creates turmoil and later apologizes, the pattern becomes obvious. McKenzie suggests these outbursts are mostly theater, continuing only until real people finally challenge Fury and refuse to back down.
Yourself on him
and done all the wrong things.
All right.
So instead of going forward, stand back. Instead of doing a lot of things.
Why do you think?
Derek Kazora offers some sympathy, suggesting John Fury's protectiveness toward his children is understandable, even if his methods remain questionable. However, Kazora cannot completely defend the headbutting incidents, instead advising Fury to handle genuine personal disputes inside the ring against Joey Egan rather than creating trouble elsewhere. Ultimately, it sounds more like reluctant support than genuine defense.
Yeah, that's gone pretty viral. I had 15 seconds still on air, and when we went on air, I kept it professional. I addressed the big idiot, John Fury, and then we got on with our job. So we've got a job to do there in the studio at the broadcasting. So that's what we did. And Big John was ranting and raving, making a mug of himself, and he can't leave.
Duke McKenzie strongly criticizes John Fury's confidence, reminding everyone that Carl Froch previously demolished George Groves, an elite fighter with tremendous power. McKenzie believes that devastating punch remains part of Froch's natural ability and cannot simply disappear. Whether Fury apologizes or not, avoiding such power would be extremely difficult, making McKenzie's warning sound more certain than speculative.